Hey guys, this video I'm going to be starting the first of 4 makeup looks that I'm going to be trying out this December. I've decided to make some videos based on the theme of winter, so I've come up with 4 different looks that I want to try out over these coming weeks. So I hope you like what I've come up with. The first one that I'm going to be starting with today is Jack Frost. So what I'm going to do to begin with for this particular look is I'm just going to remove my eyebrows. Now, I draw my eyebrows on, so removing them gives me the kind of freedom to change the shape of my eyes more than if I had eyebrows. If you have got eyebrows, obviously, as most people do, it's not a problem because there are various things that you can do, such as gluing them down, or some people like to do that, some people don't. Or I just kind of like scrub paint into them and then paint back over to them. So they are still there, but as long as you've got the paint right onto the surface underneath the hairs, it's not really a problem. I've lined my eyes with a adjustable eyeliner pencil, just in plain black. It's nothing fancy. I just like it when you can screw it to bring the makeup out because it's easier to use. So what I'm actually going to do next is just further darken around the eyes. So I'm actually going to darken underneath and above the eyelashes now, and then I'm going to smudge that round. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is map out all the areas that I'm going to be using white on to highlight the face and really bring out those particular areas. So I'm actually just using white Snazaroo face paints. As you can see, they get a lot of use. So I'm just going to put some water into one of the lids, and I'm going to start applying this with a foundation brush. Now the thing with face paints is, especially things like Snazaroo, is you've got to get the consistency right when you mix it up. A lot of people try and paint their faces or paint themselves like a solid white or a solid black, and they put too much water on the paint and it comes on all streaky. You really need to work that water into the face paint and get like a almost creamy consistency before you start to apply it. So really just wet the brush and work it into the face paint before you put it on your face. Okay, the next thing that I'm actually going to do is just go back over the white in a couple of different ways, just to make sure it's really consistent when it's on the face. So first of all, I'm just going to put some of that white face paint onto a sponge, and I'm just going to sponge over all the areas just to take out any brush marks. The next thing I'm going to do is just take a white powder. Now this is just a cheap white powder again. I don't really have any expensive makeup, especially because I use it for going clubbing and things. It's just not necessary. So I just got this cheap white powder palette, comes with a little sponge, and I'm just going to go over the white and just pat that on. That's going to stick to the white face paint and just give a more complete white look. So the next thing I'm going to do is go into the outside areas that I've left, and I'm going to make those blue. Now this is going to be a base for powder that I'm going to use. So I'm going to use this kind of teal coloured blue, and again I'm going to go in with a foundation brush. The next thing I'm going to do is start working around over the blue areas that I've just done with my makeup palette. The makeup palette that I'm just going to be using, again, is another cheap product. It's one of these 120 eyeshadows. I got this from eBay. It was about £8. It's actually what started the creativity in my makeup, because when I had so many colours to play with, you just kind of start an experiment, an explosion all over your face, and that's when you start doing more creative things. So if you are just starting out with makeup, you don't really know what to get, you can't afford lots of different expensive eyeshadows, I do suggest go and find yourself a nice 120 or whatever amount eyeshadows, and then just basically plaster yourself in makeup all the time. I'm going to be taking a dark blue with a blending brush, and I'm just going to be powdering that over the top. You don't always have to put a base down. I just sometimes like to. You can go straight onto the skin, and if you put a moisturiser on first or you put a primer, the powders are going to stick to you just as well, and it's probably actually a little bit easier, but I've decided to do it this way. Now what I'm going to do is just add in some detail with the powders on the lower part, again by just adding in some dark areas here, just coming in underneath. So I've actually just gone in with the black there, bringing a little shadow, and then I'm just going to blend that out with the dark blue, kind of just flicking it up. Now I'm going to come in with some light blues. And then just really dark down the bottom here. And now I'm going to start blending out the nose. Okay, so that's a good base for the main part of the face there. The next is to bring in the eyes, possibly the most important part of the look. Now, I want to have quite dark eyes. I'm going to add a couple of different colours in there. What I'm going to do to begin with is just go in with a dark purple base. The thing I like about looks like this is it's just a creature, it's just, you know, a fantasy. It doesn't have to be perfect, the lines don't have to be amazing. You can just play around because things well, it's just in your imagination. It can look however you like. Be a mess. I'll just wipe it off. I'm just going to go in with the dark blue and just work into some of that purple area, especially having the darks on the inside bits. The eyes are really important because it really determines how your makeup looks. I'm actually going to bring this down a little bit closer to my eye just to make it look a little bit more sinister. I'm just going to paint in at the edges of the lid black. I'm just going to go back over the eyes with the black eyeliner again. The next thing I want to do, because it's bugging me quite a lot at the minute, is just get rid of these regular lips here. When I did this makeup look before, I put kind of like a metallic aqua over the lips, but I don't have that lipstick anymore, so I'm just going to paint over them. This part of the look is really what brings it together. When I do a makeup look, I do kind of just make it up on the day. What I do is find some things that are going to inspire me, so maybe like a demon makeup, and the thing that inspired this part of the makeup is actually Death Eater masks from Harry Potter. So I saw some of those on the internet and I liked how they had the kind of curling styles that were going over the top, so that's what inspired this. So what I'm doing now is just mixing up a silver powder. This is the silver powder that I'm using. It's Mehron metallic powder. They do them in all different kinds of colours. I've got gold, copper, silver and bronze. I just pour a little bit into a pot and then add some water or mixing solution to it. Trying to do nice broad fluid motions. It's funny how you feel when you've got a painted face. It can just kind of alter how you act a little bit, I guess. Sometimes, especially when I've got my full face painted and I'm going out drinking and I don't particularly, well, before I get wasted, want to ruin the bottom part of my makeup. So you just kind of take on this stern look that you don't want to crease your forehead or anything like that, and just taking this deep stare. Well, that's what I do anyway. I'm probably just a little bit crazy, but I also like to I like the idea that when I'm dancing in like some dark club, then I'll be dancing along and someone will look around, they'll kind of like do a double take when they see my face next to them. But most people like it. I hope you guys did as well. More videos soon. Right, I hope I've recorded all that shit properly. Making videos is hard.